Hi guys, Nokternl back with some more tips and tricks for Starborne. This is my second tips and tricks video. I hope you've seen the first. If not, go check it out. First up, we have fleet limit versus operating limit. So what we're talking about here is the fleet limit that your empire can use versus your operating limit here on a station. The big difference between these is that operating fleets, this limit is for the amount of actual fleets you can have running in a station versus your total amount of fleets you can have across all stations. You can't have more than, for my case here, 35 fleets total, and you only increase this via increasing your number of hexes that you own across all of your stations. This one, the operating fleets, can be individually increased on a station basis by building a building called docking services. It is over in tier 2 and it is a military building. Increases the station's fleet operating limit by 2 per level, so that is up to 20. So a base or a station that you're planning on using a lot of fleets out of, I would definitely include that. The speed with which you can construct your heavy and capital ships is modified or increased by the number of moons that you have around the particular assembly. So let's have a quick look here. I've got a heavy ship assembly here next to a large frozen moon and a standard moon. Large moons give you 3% and 2% from a normal size, 1% from a small one. Now if we go into the buildings and check our heavy ship assembly over here, per level we have 1, 2, 3% for each of the moons per level of the ship assembly. So that means that particular ship assembly I have there that has a combined total of 5%, that's 5% per level, which means at level 5 it's a 25% time cost reduction for each of my ships being built from that assembly. So very worthwhile finding a good moon setup for your capital and your heavy ship assemblies. Your claim strength is not a readily identifiable value in the game. If we have a look at a hex right next to our station here, see just to the right hand side of my name next to owner there, it says 4 in brackets. That's actually your claim strength to that hex. Each hex away from your station, it lowers by 1. To increase your claim strength, you can build a building in tier 4 domains called Governor's Mansion, which will allow you to increase it up to +5 at level 10. Alternatively, the Outpost Fortress allows you to also increase claim strength and grab extra hexes outside of your current claim from your station. There are also a couple of cards that can help you with claim strength. If you go to show all cards, type claim in the search, you will see we've got a couple of fortress claim strength cards, and you've got a couple of station claim strength cards. So they will increase your claim strength of the hexes surrounding the fortress and the station as well. Now, speaking of claim strength, if you and another player have a contested hex, both of you can remove your claim from that hex in order to both farm it. The way you do that is go into the hex, right click it, click on hex, click on drop claim, and it will disappear from your claim and give it to them, and when they drop claim it will become empty and you'll both be able to harvest from that hex. So a very quick point on efficiency when it comes to either solar harvesting or augmenting or doing anything where you're going back and forth, like upgrading your different outposts, etc., you can only send one set of industrials to do a job at a time. You can't sort of do one and then the other at the same time. But what you can do is you can wait for one to finish its job and be on its way back, and then send another one while it's not actually finished returning home yet. Similarly with the solar harvesting, you can have one fleet head out, hit the sun or star, and as it turns around to come back, you can send another one at that point. So you can kind of get it done in twice the speed if you think of that efficiency there. Okay, a quick tip with regards to policies. If we go and have a look at our policies over here, we can see you've got the wildcard slot, which is the purple one here. If we have a look, we've got a selection of them there. However, if we don't want a policy from here, we can actually use a different color from any of the military, domain, or industrials and put it in the wildcards. Okay, last but not least, we've got a couple of tips with regards to combat. So let's have a look over here, and we'll go to where I've got some fleets here. Now, for example, a lot of the time people will attack you with two fleets, one after the other. First one will be the assault fleet to try to knock out any defenses as far as fleets that you may have at your station. The second one will be that they usually follow up with a bombing run. So what we can do here, if you're online at the time, you can do what's called dodging an attack. So let's have a look how this would work. If we know that one attack is coming in followed by a second, presumably bombing run 1 minute later, we can dodge the first attack by grabbing our fleet here, telling it that we want to go to a different station and deploying it. Send the deployment just before the first attack reaches you. If we click on that, it starts to go. Now you let that attack hit. This is assuming you don't want to defend it and you want to dodge. Then hover over the guys who just left. Within 3 minutes, you can cancel the movement and they will head back to that base to defend against the second attack, which hopefully is the bombing run, which might actually do some damage to the bombers and dodge the assault fleet that was trying to kill your ships. Now, secondly, with regards to missile batteries this time, this is an important one. Often people will try to sabotage your missile batteries. You'll see a sabo incoming, and then straight after the sabotage, they'll be hitting you with their assault fleets, which won't get hurt by a missile battery if the missile battery's been deactivated. Now what you can do, if you're quick enough, often you see people might take half an hour or 2 hours to get to you. You'll have enough time to grab one of your industrial fleets and completely break this down all the way to 0. Just downgrade the outpost all the way to 0 and then rebuild it right next door so it's still covering the station. The sabotage will miss, obviously, because that's no longer the missile battery, and then you'll have a new missile battery there ready to at least do some damage to the incoming forces. Thanks for watching my video. If you're enjoying my content, please consider subscribing to me on YouTube or following me on twitch.tv/Nokternl. I'm also on Twitter now, so hit me up on there as well. If you've got any other questions, chuck them in the comments. Thanks very much. We'll catch you next time.